we will see about interconversion. Interconversion between Murray machine and Mealy machine. From Murray to Mealy and Mealy to Mealy. First we will see from Murray machine to Mealy machine. Which formula we will use to convert for this conversion? This delta dash inside the state and input of it equal to delta inside the transition function. State input. What is all this? Lambda dash is the new output function. Q is the state and A is the input. Here lambda is old output function and here lambda dash is new output function. Inside the old output function, that is lambda, we will use the transition function. Transition function contains the state and input. We will see one example and come back. You will get clear understanding about from Murray to Mealy conversion. Here we will discuss about one question. Construct a Mealy machine which is equivalent to the Murray machine given in the following table. In this example, we have given Murray machine in the form of the table. In many questions, they will give the diagram. But in many questions, they will give the table. From this table, we have to draw the transition diagram. And after that, we can convert from Murray to Mealy. So, our first step is draw transition diagram of the Murray machine. How we can draw the transition diagram? Let's see. First, we will draw the state. Here we have given 3 states, so we will draw 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, and 3. Now we will write each state. Q1, Q2, and Q3. Now we will see this output. And we will assign output besides each state. So here, output of Q1 state is 0. So we will write here. Output of Q2 state is 0. And output of Q3 state is 1. Now we will see the transition from present state to next state. That means if we give Q1 the input as 0, in which state it is going, we can see from the table. Here, if we give input of 0 to the present state Q1, we will get the next state as Q1. So, this is how we can write. Next, if we give input 1 to the present state Q1, it will give the next state Q2. So like this. Now let's move to the next state Q2. For Q2 input 0, we will get the next state Q1. If we give input Q2 as 1, we will get the next state Q3. Let's move towards last state Q3. If we give input 0 to the Q3, we will get Q1 as a next state. And if we give Q3 the input 1, we will get the state next state as Q3 itself. Like this. This is our transition diagram of the given Murray machine tape. Now we will see that how we can convert from this transition diagram of Murray machine to the Mealy machine. First, we will see directly how we can draw the transition diagram from Muro to Mealy. Then after, we will use the formula and try to find out the Mealy machine diagram. First, we have to draw the three states, given states. 1, 2, 3. Here, we do not have to write the output besides the each state because we are converting it into Mealy machine. And Mealy machine does not contain the output inside it. It contains the output outside the state. So first we write the each state Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now we will see the transition diagram of Moore, and from this we will write in the Mealy machine transition diagram. If we give Q1 0 as input, it will get Q1 itself as output with output 0. If we give Q1 1 input, it will go to the Q2 state with output 0. So how we can draw in the Mealy machine diagram? If we give Q1 0, it get Q1 as state and output is also 0 because output of Q1 is 0. So we can write it like this. If we give Q1 0 input, it will go in the state Q1 itself and leave the output 0 from this. Now if we see that if we give input Q1 as 1, it will go to the Q2 state. So Q1 goes to Q2 state when we give input 1. And what is the output of the state which it is going? 0. So we can write here 0. Now we will see for Q2 state. If we give Q2 input as 0, it goes to the state Q1 where output of Q1 is 0. If we give Q2 0, it goes to the Q1 and output of Q1 is 0. If we give Q2 input 1, it goes to the Q3 state where output of Q3 is 1. If we give Q2 input as 1, it goes to the Q3 state and output of Q3 is 1. If we give Q3 out input 0, it goes to the Q1 state where output of Q1 is 0. If we give Q3 1 input, it goes to the state itself with output 1. This is the diagram of the Mealy machine. Now we will see that how we can use formula and get this diagram from the formula. We will use this formula to convert from Moore to Mealy machine. This formula we will use for every state with every input. That means Q1 0, Q1 1, Q2 0, Q2 1, Q3 0, and for K3. Now first for Q1 input, Q1 state and for 0 input. Lambda dash Q1 0 because here state and input equal to lambda delta inserted Q1 0. Now we will see that for the transition function for the state Q1, if we will be the input 0, what we are getting. This is our transition diagram of the Moore machine. From this, we will answer this question that if we give Q1 the input 0, where we are going and what is the output of the next. So from this problem, we can say that if we give Q1 the 0 input, we are going in Q1 state itself and the output of Q1 is 0. So we will write here lambda and Q1 0, output is Q1. And what is the output of Q1? Output of Q1 is 0. Now we will solve for the Q1 state for the input 1. Lambda dash Q1 1 equal to lambda transition function of the Q1 with input 1. Now we will see in the diagram of Mealy machine. If we give Q1 the input 1, we are going in the out state Q2. So here we can write it as Q2. And what is the output of the Q2? 0. So work of Q1 with input 0 and Q1 with input 1 is done. Now we will check for the Q2 in state for the input 0. Lambda dash Q2 0 equal to lambda beta of Q2 equal to comma 0. Now we will see that if we give Q2 the input 0, where we are going in Q1. So we will write Q1. And what is the output of Q1? 0. The here 0. So we will write 0. Now we will check for the state Q2 with input 1. Delta dash. Now we will see for the state Q2 with input 1. Delta dash Q2 1 equal to lambda delta of Q2 1. From the transition diagram of the Mealy machine, we can see that if we give Q2 state the input 1, where we are going in the state Q3. Lambda Q3. And what is the output of the Q3? 1. So we will make here 1. So now for the state Q2 with input 0 and 1 is done. Now we will move forward with the state Q3 for the input 0. Q3 input 0. Lambda dash Q3 0 to lambda delta of Q3 0. Now what is the transition of Q3 when we give the input as 0? In this diagram of Mealy machine, if we give input Q3 0, it is going towards the state Q1. So we will write lambda of Q1. Now what is the output of Q1? 0. So we will write here 0. Now we will check for the Q3 state for the input 1. Lambda dash Q3 for the input 1, lambda delta of Q3 1. From this diagram, if we give Q3 the input 1, we will get the state itself Q3 with the output 1. So we will write Q3, and what is the output of Q3? 1. Now we will draw the transition diagram of Mealy machine from this. If we give Q1 the input 0, we are going in the state Q1 with the output 0. So if we give Q1 in state input 0, we are going in the state itself with the output 0. We can draw other state also. After that, we will give the transition. For the state Q1 and input 1, we are going in the state Q2 with the output 0. For the state Q1 with the input 1, we are going in the state Q2 with the output 0. For Q2, if we give input 0, we will get output 0. And where we are going, if we give up input 0 to Q2, we are going the state itself Q2. So we can write like this: 0, output 0. Now, if we give Q2 state the input 1, we are going in state Q3 with output Q1. 1 with output 1. For in the input 1 to the Q3, we are going in the state itself with output 1. For the state Q3, if we give 0 as input, we are going in the state Q1 with output 0. So 0, 0. So now this is the transition diagram of the Mealy machine. Now we will draw transition table of the given Mealy machine diagram. Here we have to take the states Q1, Q2 and Q3. Here we will take what are the inputs 0 and 1, and for each input what is the state and what will be the output of the given state. Now from the Mealy machine diagram, for the state Q1, if we give the input 0, what we are getting? The state Q1. And what is the output of the state Q1? 0. So here we will write Q1 and output is 0. For the input 1, if we give Q1 state input 1, we are going in the state Q2 with the output 0. So here Q2 with the output 0. Likewise, we will write for the state Q2 in Q2. Q2 input 0, we are going in the state itself Q2 with the output 0. For this input 1, we are going in the state Q3 with the output 1. For the Q3 state, if we give 0 as an input, we are going in the state Q1 with the output 0. If we give Q3 input 1, we are going in the state Q3 with the output 1. So this is the transition table of the Mealy machine. This is the Moore machine. This is how we will convert from Moore machine to Mealy machine.